Hi, beautiful people.
Hello, guys.
Welcome to She Speaks Sacred,
where her voice becomes a sacred right.
She Speaks.
We listen.
Spirit moves. I'm Wambui Mukunda.
And I am Zanele.
And today we are speaking about our spiritual journey and some of the things that you experience when you're trying to understand yourself in the spiritual world, where you're trying to understand yourself, where you come from as a person, and especially us as African people and our culture and how we used to do our spirituality, how we used to carry on our culture. We've had scenarios where people who are going through the transition from religion, we grew up Christian, for both of us, we grew up Christian, but now as adults, we are more on spiritual side of it rather than the Christian part of it, even though there are also aspects of Christianity that we also carry on because they are similar to our African culture and our African spirituality. And we've had situations where people who are going through such scenarios, they experience some things that happen to them before they can be fully awakened, and that will be, for example, what outcasts of you be treated as an outcast by your family. There are those that go through a phase of confusion. There are those even become a little bit crazy during that process because you're so confused. Because first of all, you grew up believing this and this. Before you reformat that, before you rerun what you were taught as a child, whatever was ingrained in your brain, it will take a lot of time, effort, and you trying to understand yourself as a person. I would say at the stage I'm still in transition, if I may say so. I'm still like in between, because sometimes I do feel a little bit of confusion, especially when I'm practicing maybe my prayers, because sometimes I'll go and mention the name Jesus as I'm praying, and then
do you remember who is Jesus?
And then I ask myself, who is Jesus? And then it just, there's some confusion that happens as you're transitioning, and that's what mostly I've been experiencing. How has your journey been so far?
I think for most of us, it's the rejection from family, from people, your friends. We get a lot of rejection because for them it's demonic, and having been brought up with Christian values and the religion itself mentioning that whatever we practice in African traditions and spirituality is demonic. So there's a lot of misunderstanding of things. There's a lot of criticism, especially coming in from the Christian side. And there's a lot of, looking down upon what we are doing or what we think we know and believe in. Things like, talking to your dead people. For the Christians, that is demonic. Yet they speak to Abraham, who is also deceased. They speak to Jesus, a dead guy. So when you are saying I'm consulting my ancestors who lived this life before me, who understand my journey, some of whom have reincarnated and are living in me, through me, are using me as a vessel to pass messages, to teach, to guide, to do things in this, realm, for them it's unbelievable, because how do you do that? But they are following in the footsteps of Jesus Christ. That's where the conflict and confusion comes in. There's a lot of rejection, there's a lot of biasness, and there's a lot of questioning also from you as a person, like, am I doing the right thing? Is this actually something that, my forefathers are proud of, or want for me? Because we are also trying to reconnect with realms that we have very little information of. And it's so unfortunate that we were uprooted from who we are, because if we had continued our journey as spiritual beings, knowing who we are and understanding the spiritual realms, it wouldn't be so confusing. But right now you're asking yourself, hey, when it gets to this point, is this actually real? And it makes it even worse when you find spiritual guiders or leaders who are now not in alignment with what the values that you would have loved them to show you as a person, going back to that spirituality. So you also question yourself, if these people are also thieves, so it means also the spiritual side of things is something to be questioned. So if we had straight people in this spiritual African spirituality and people who are very straight on guiding us on the correct and the right way, it would have made things easier. But right now you are picking what feels good for you and what feels right for you, and it's a challenge because we are people who have lost a lot.
Yeah.
Especially Kikuyus, I know it's only now that some are even finding out that there's a Mundu who can help with spiritual issues, It's very difficult.
Yeah. Growing up, I remember where we used to stay in Muranga. There were old men that used to come to a plot that was next to us, and they used to come for prayers. I can't remember on which day and what time, but I think it was in the evenings, and they used to say "Thai, the yagai thai." It's praying to our Kikuyu god Mwenenyaga, and we used to fear them because. We used to fear them. It's like they were doing something evil, something demonic that we were not supposed to interact with them. But right now, as an adult, I understand that's the way that my people, my ancestors, used to worship our God. It's so bad that you are seen as demonic just because you go and pray under a tree, a sacred tree. Whereas the Christians also go to a church, go to what are they called? Those structures, those gods that they are. What are they called? Is it Mary, whatever?
Statue.
Yeah, statue. What are they called? Kuna venye wanazitanga watu wakadho.
This is wakadho.
I'm telling you, church yakadho. When as a Christian they go and worship at the churches, they worship those structures like
they even kiss.
And kiss them. You're seen hugging a tree, just hugging a tree, it's a problem. You're seen walking barefoot, connecting to the ground, it's a problem. It becomes demonic, you're possessed. Actually, you're possessed, that's what they say. You went crazy, you went goo-goo. So I think we as a people, as an African people, we need to analyze ourselves on what is more beneficial to us, because at the end of the day, some of these battles that people are fighting, illnesses, some of these mental issues that people are fighting, they are not the blood of Jesus Christ will not
wash away.
It won't wash away. You need to go back to who you are. You go back to your family, go back to your clan, go back to your culture. Try to understand where does this problem come from, and then from there start working on it and start working, because every problem especially in Kikuyu culture had a solution. There was always a solution for everything that was happening. Any problem, anything that was happening, there was always a solution for that. And also, as you're mentioning, there are people who are coming up, spiritual people, but who are misleading people.
That's the problem.
We have some that are creating scenarios that are like kind of church. So you have a spiritual person, but the way they are practicing their things, they're still practicing the Christian way.
Steal from people.
And to steal, yes, they're there for business purposes only. They're there only to take your money. And let me tell you, the moment you go to a spiritual person and they're able to guide you on what you're supposed to do, maybe to overcome a certain problem, work on that. Don't be so dependent on those spiritual people. Try to understand yourself as a person, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be confused. You don't want to the confusion to go for long, because at the end of the day, the knowledge is within us.
Yeah, it's true.
We are our own ancestors, so you already have that knowledge. You just need to be guided on how to go about it. I can say maybe you can skip to some of the benefits that we've experienced with this spiritual journey. And I would say it's the open-mindedness that I have. I felt like Christians, I had to follow a certain way in religion. I had to do things in a certain way. But right now, there's so much into African spirituality out there that is not known. There's so much freedom on how you practice your your African spiritualism. And that has really opened up my mind, that I'm open to hearing, understanding, learning and relearning at the same time. What are some of the benefits you've gained from your spiritual journey?
I think it's the freedom also. Freedom to be a independent thinker. It's very important, because you're able to make mistakes. And one thing that Christianity has made us shy away from is making mistakes. When mistakes make you grow, mistakes teach you. You get a lot of lessons from making mistakes, because if you had not done it that way, then you will know and look for other ways, alternative ways in which you could have done it and it could have worked for you. But for Christianity, it's this way on this way. There's no alternative. On this other side, you can do it this way. You can look into other ways in which you can get to that same goal, or reach that same stage that you want to reach. And whatever you are saying with us having the information. Just last week we talked about, dreams. There's different ways in which they communicate with us. And the unfortunate part is that since we lost the connection, the reconnection and having that bond with them, it's so difficult to even realize that your ancestor is communicating with you through that dog. The dog might be looking at you in a certain way that it's very mysterious, but it's your ancestor using that dog to say, hey, there's something you need to think about, or a tree or a snake passing through. It's a communication. But because we have been made to demonize some of these things, it's so difficult. Some of us get dreams. We are being told a lot of messages through dreams, but when you dream, you wake up, shakara, shakara, shakara. It's demons. I don't want to see my dead father. Go away from me. You see, and that dead father of yours is trying to pass a message that could have saved you from an accident that is about to happen in your life. So that connection, that grounding, we really need to go back, because a lot of things we are losing because we are not connected. That's what I'm saying. In terms of benefits, honestly, I've seen a lot of benefits, even with the success that you're seeing around you, because for some people, they feel like they joined the cult. Things working for them, they are getting a lot of jobs and it's because we have a mindset that is so open and so broad that we are able to think beyond this one alternative of achieving things. If you're not getting money this way, you're able to see, this other way can make me get to that height. Or this person, and with your ancestors guiding you or leading you, they guide you to the right people in life. You just meet somebody from nowhere and wonder, how did we even meet with this person? But the way we have grown each other, it's like, wow, we were meant to meet, and my ancestors have led me to my greater heights through somebody. We've always been told that, I don't know, Jesus will help you, I don't know what, but it's people that help you achieve things. It's the people, the relations you create around you, and who makes you get connected to these people. It's the people who guide you to go through this way. There's a day that I was caught between two paths. I remember just asking myself, should I use this path or this path? And I stood in between and I was like, if I use this one, it's shorter, but it has a lot of people. If I use this one, it's longer, but it's quiet. I chose the longer one, but quiet one. And mind you, I went on that path and met somebody I could have never thought I would have met. And I remember him saying, the people you are with are very powerful. And I was like, what do you mean? He told me that I was not even supposed to be on this path. I was to use my car, but I decided to use this path. So our ancestors made us connect, because we both questioned, should I? And both of us used that same path, that alternative of eventually meet, and we had to meet at that point, you see. Now that's how things will happen, the benefits of being aligned.
There's so much benefits to being aligned, and I would also say the peace that you gain in your heart, in your mind, in your body, where you're practicing spirituality. The fact that even though sometimes I have a friend who have not been to their home for such a long time, just because they started practicing the Kikuyu culture way of life, they were disowned. But they know they're at peace.
The disconnection.
So the disconnection brought in peace to their lives. So the peace that you gain from that, and also I would say independence. The fact that you do not have to depend on another human being to pray for you. You do not have to depend on another human being to be able to guide you on how to connect with your God. The fact that you can connect with the God within you on your own without needing other people, and get messages direct. You're guided, you're aligned in your path through God, through your ancestors, even through the people that you interact with on a daily basis, as you are saying. That kind of independence that you gain, I think everybody should be able to experience that. Do not depend on any preacher, any pastor, any bishop to pray for you, because mostly out here, they are all practicing businesses. It's businesses.
All
they
of
them. They have set up. They're practicing businesses. At the end of the day, they're looking into the offering money. And the tithe that you've
That's why the message is towards money.
Yes.
If you don't put money, you will not get money. Money for who? For him.
For him and his family.
For God.
Yeah. Imagine you have a problem, you go to your pastor, they pray, and they'll tell you, let us pray about it. The pastor comes, he needs a car, and no, we all have to remove. We don't pray about it.
Let's pray about it, pastor. I mean, same energy.
Same energy. Yeah. Let's maintain the standards. So the moment you feel like you have the freedom to do what you want to do in this life, you are not following a specific structure, and not everything works for African people. By the way, the same we was saying about the beauty products that are in the market, most were not meant for black people. All of them were not meant for black people, except the ones that we have like shea butter and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
from our trees,
from our plants, from our trees. So the same way with religion, the Christian religion was not meant for us. It was meant for the white people. They needed to practice that, but for us, we had our own way of worshiping our God, praying to our God, and ensuring that we are connected to God and to our ancestors. Yeah.
Guys, I think we'll end the video here. Just let us know if you have started your journey of transitioning from Christianity, from Islam, or from whatever to African spirituality. Have you started, and how has it been for you? Any challenges? Are you seeing any benefits? Are you at peace or more worried about what the future holds for you? Let's have a conversation in the comment section, and please support us by liking the video, sharing this video so that we can reach bigger audiences, and subscribing. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.